I can't see myself on the monitor. Help. It's not on.
The power button.
Yes.
And...
Oh, not today. Not today, Satan. Hi guys, welcome back to Happy Hour with Hope. This month we are doing something very different because it is my birthday month. I turned 23 at the end of this month. So we are doing a month of personal episodes, which I have never done, but you guys have highly requested so many different things from me that have nothing to do with photography and education. And the number one requested thing you guys have asked is to see my makeup tutorial. I am not a makeup guru. I am in no way a makeup artist. I know very little about makeup. My best friend who is sitting to my left is a literal makeup artist on YouTube, so this is going to be very entertaining for me to film. I have all of my things laid out in front of me, and I'm literally gonna get ready for this day of filming with you guys on camera. I used to not wear a lot of makeup at all. I used to wear just like powder and mascara and like maybe eyebrows if I was like feeling special. But now I really enjoy doing makeup, and I do a little bit heavier makeup, especially like before summertime when I get sun on my face, because I went through a really bad like period with my skin. And so I started to become more obsessed with the idea of makeup, and I did it for like covering up some really bad imperfections on my face. Luckily, thankfully, my skin's cleared up. I'm gonna show you guys some of my favorite skincare stuff in next week's video. But today I'm literally just gonna get ready with you, and I'm gonna link all of my products down below. I'm also gonna link where I got the sweatshirt because yes, I know it's amazing. And so we're just gonna go ahead and dive into it, and this just should be very entertaining. And I have a frozen chai, which is my favorite drink, to fuel me through this. So here we go. So to prime my face, I use two different things, which I don't think is necessary. I think you can use one or the other, but I just like to be extra. So I use this Too Faced Hangover Primer, and this is kind of like a moisturizer and a base that just makes my skin feel really like moisturized. Before I put anything else on, Erica's just smiling at me. You're doing great, sweetie. Oh, well, this is my favorite primer of all time ever, and it's very expensive, and so I feel bad even talking about it, but I've only bought one in the last year, and I've only used like half of it, so I feel like...
So much.
I know I did, I used a lot. I'm sorry.
You're only supposed to use it right
I know, but I had a bad skin and I just needed a lot of help, you know? It's fine, it's fine. Oh, my bad. It's the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, and it just like comes in this really fancy package, and it's just fancy and I love it.
It's the bomb.
It's thebomb.com, and it comes with a little like scoopy guy that you can like scoop out the right amount with, but I don't do that because I just don't. So I just put my finger in it and I like do a little like half circle situation, and I only get this much. I get literally like the tiniest amount, and I only use it on my T-zone. So I use it on my nose, like the top of my forehead and my chin, because it smooths out where like I get a lot of like texture and a lot of not cute stuff.
That is the tiniest amount in your opinion?
It's a little amount. It's a little nugget. But literally, you probably can't tell, but now like all my pores are filled in, all my skin is just like so smooth and buttery like a baby's butt, and now I can put the rest of my life together. Okay, so those are the two things I use to prime, and then I use a beauty blender, which is my best friend, and I feel like this is a very basic makeup tip, but a lot of my friends don't know this, is that if you have one of these and you don't get it wet when you're using it, then you're doing it wrong, because I used it dry for like forever until I had Erica in my life and she taught me that I'm an idiot. So what you do is you run it under water and you like fill it up with water and then squeeze it out and wring it out so there's no water actually left in it. But it'll double the size and it's kind of damp and it'll just blend all your makeup really beautifully. So that's what I'm using to put it on. And this is also something Erica taught me, and it's new because I didn't used to do like a heavy foundation. I used to use this, which is the IT CC cream that I'm gonna link below. And I really like this, and I still use it in the summertime for wedding days because it has SPF in it to protect my skin. But like I feel like it's a little bit cakier and a little bit of like a heavier coverage, and this feels more like sheer to me and lighter on my skin, and it like lasts literally all day. So I'm gonna use this today, but also recommend this. So this is two foundations. This one is a little bit expensive. This one's drugstore, so I feel like it like balances out. And I'm the lightest color for the record in literally everything I'm using because as you can tell, my skin is like the color of snow. So I'm gonna mix Giorgio Armani with, I don't even know what this is called, L'Oreal Infallible, is that how you say it?
It's Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk.
Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. Erica knows things I don't. It's the Infallible Fresh Wear. This is drugstore, and then this is like Sephora, a little bit more expensive. And I do 2 squirts of the Giorgio Armani and then 1 of the drugstore one. And I'm just gonna mix it on the back of my hand. So I literally, Erica has like a cute little, you know, dish.
Literally a candle like holder thing from like wrinkles.
Well, it looks official, more official than this. Okay, so then I'm just gonna literally mix them together on the back of my hand, and I never use this much, so I should probably only do 1 squirt of the Giorgio Armani, but
That foundation is just so
it's
good.
fine.
Not mixed, just like.
Oh yeah, it's like sweet baby Jesus on my face. Okay, and then I'm gonna take the finger I mixed with, and I'm just gonna kind of dab the leftover on my face, and then I'm gonna dip the Beauty Blender, I'm gonna knock it into my hair, and I just kind of start at my jawline and blend up. So I try to only dip the Beauty Blender once for each like cheek, and then I just spread it all over the rest of my face because I don't like to layer it. I don't like it to be too cakey. I do like a pretty thin layer of this, but my skin tone's super pink, so I'm gonna look yellow by the end of this, but it's actually just me looking like a normal human being. Okay, make sure you blend it down your jawline because this is what I used to forget to do all the time, and then my face would look yellow compared to the white on the rest of my body. So, blending. I always have to blend really well on the sides of my nose too because that's where I get really dry and it doesn't look cute. Okay, so I do like this pretty thin layer. You probably can't tell. It probably looks thick because I'm, pasty. But I have a lot left over, so I should probably only do 1 squirt of Giorgio Armani, but it's fine. And then this is my best friend. And if you don't already own this, then you need it because it will also be your best friend. This is Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. It is the best concealer on the face of the planet. And if anyone tells you otherwise, they're lying to you and they're not a good friend because this is what you need. And mine's almost gone. And again, I have the lightest shade. They actually made new shades like recently, and I had to buy the even lighter one that they came out with because porcelain beige. But I'm gonna conceal under my eyes and on my T-zone, and I'm not just concealing, I'm also highlighting those areas of my face because this is a little bit lighter than my foundation. And then I'm gonna set that with powder. So I'm gonna just go ahead and show you guys where I put it because I'm gonna look like a crazy person for a hot second. So I do pretty big, like half triangles almost under my eyes. And then I just do the center of my nose, this cute little moment on my forehead. Oh, I'm running out. And then a little bit on my chin. And so I'm just gonna blend this out with my Beauty Blender and then I'm gonna set it with powder, but I'll show you guys that step in a second. So I'm gonna blend out my under eyes and I also put a little bit on my eyelid. I feel like not everybody does that, but I have very like veiny eyelids, so I don't like it. So I blend under my eye and I also blend on my eyelid just a little bit. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna set those areas of my face with some loose powder. I use the Laura Mercier powder from Sephora, but one of the, not the dupes, but one of the other ones that I use is the Maybelline
Loose Fit Me powder.
Is the Maybelline Loose Fit Me powder, and I just ran out of that, so I bought this when I was in Sephora, but that's like a cheaper drugstore option that I like just as much as the Laura Mercier. What I do is I'm gonna like put some of it in the top of the container, like that, and then I'm gonna like take my Beauty Blender and just dip the like top half in it and set the areas that I just put my concealer. And I put this on my eyelids too, because my eyelids will crease where I put that concealer. So I'm gonna put this on my eyelids too. And I'm gonna look like a hot mess, crazy person in a second. I was trying to say both of those things at the same time. I'm gonna set my nose because, especially as a photographer, my nose is like touching my camera at all times, and it comes off every single time. So I set my nose hardcore. And then my forehead because I get wrinkles. And then I set my smile lines too because I'll get like lines right here if I don't set this half of my mouth. Perfect, I look psycho. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera because I really don't have like a technique for my eyebrows. I just fill in, because I have pretty thick, dark eyebrows, so I just kind of fill them in and outline them to make them look a little bit more like impressive, but I don't really have a technique for that. But I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, and I use the color taupe because my eyebrows are much darker than my hair color. So I'm gonna do that off camera really quick, and then I'm gonna come back and show you guys the rest. Okay, so I just did my brows. Basically what I do is I just draw them in with obviously the pencil side, and then I take the little brush side or the spoolie and like brush through them a bunch of times to make it all kind of blend together. So that's kind of my only technique. I don't have a fancy technique for my eyebrows, but I do use a setting gel. So this is the Benefit just like 24-hour brow set, and it's just a clear gel that makes my eyebrows not move because I have thick brows and I need them to stay where they belong. So I'm just gonna brush like a really thin layer of the clear brow gel through them. And now I'm gonna wipe the powder off my face so I don't look like a psychopath. So I just I have a Morphe brush set, and I don't remember which set it is. It's like a super old set. And then I also have some of the Jaclyn Hill brushes, so I'll link which ones are which down below. But that's what I'm using right now. It's just like a random Morphe brush to wipe my powder off. There's a lot on my nose. I put a lot on my nose by accident. Okay, so now I just have like a clear face of foundation and my eyebrows done. And this is not a necessary step, but I like to set my makeup throughout my makeup process because I don't like it to move all day. Typically I'm doing my makeup very early in the morning and then I'm working all day. I might even have like a shoot or a wedding or something where my makeup needs to like not budge. So this has just become like a normal part of my makeup routine. And I just have the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and I'm just gonna do like a quick little spritz at this step before I move on. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is really random and also not a necessary step, but I don't do eyeshadow. I used to do a lot of eyeshadow and like fun looks with my eyes. I just don't have time for it anymore and it's like not as fun for me anymore. So what I do is I just take the It Cosmetics CC powder, which is what I used to use with the CC cream, can't use words. And I just set my eyelids with this because it's literally just another powder so that the concealer I put on my eyelid doesn't crease throughout the day. So I'm just gonna take like a fluffy crease brush and get like a tiny bit of this and just like set my eyelids so that that concealer I put on doesn't crease. I already did that with a translucent powder, but for some reason that just doesn't set it enough for me. Okay. So now we're gonna do the fun stuff so I look less like a psychopath and I'm gonna use bronzer. And I don't do like a harsh contour necessarily, but obviously I'm very pale and I look crazy because my skin is just all one color right now. So I'm gonna take the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. This is my best friend. We won't talk about how Erica shattered it the other day and I just had to buy a new one. It's totally fine. I love you so much. I know, but look, I got a brand new one because then I dropped it after you and it shattered even more. So, oh wait, let me not reflect ugly things. But okay, this is what I'm gonna use. And I use the lightest color. I use this one because it works really well for pale people because it's like a cooler toned bronzer. So it doesn't look like I'm orange or I'm trying to like fake tan myself. It just looks pretty natural for somebody that has like super light skin like me. But it has multiple options for people that have different skin tones too. But I'm gonna take this big fluffy bronzer brush. It's the Jaclyn Hill brush and I love this thing and Erica is who showed me this. And I'm gonna take the lightest color and I'm just gonna bronze my cheekbones right here on both sides and then I'm gonna bronze the top of my forehead too. And then I'm gonna bronze my jawline just a little bit. So I'll put some on the brush, I'll do my cheeks and my temples up here, and then I'll use whatever residuals on the brush to do my jawline. So I'm brushing pretty lightly. I'm not like pushing really hard on my face. And I'm really lightly blending it, but I'm blending it a lot. So I'm gonna do this on both sides where I'm like, it looks like I'm overly brushing it on, but I'm not adding any additional product. I'm just blending it into my face. That'll work. Look, I have color now. So I'm gonna put just a tiny bit more on the brush and I'm gonna bronze right up here by my temples. I'm doing it more on my forehead than on the actual side of my face. So just right up top so I look like I have color all over my face and not just on my cheeks. Baby bit more. And I'm tapping my brush off every time so I don't get like excess falling all over my face. Because I don't want it to look like muddy and like I have bronzer in random places. Ta-da, now I'm bronzed. And then if I want to add like another layer, which I'm going to because I'm filming today, I will take a little bit of a smaller contour-y brush, which that's not really what it is, but that's what I use it for. And I'm gonna take the second shade over, so the middle shade that's a little bit darker, and I'm gonna put it in the center of where I just bronzed as more of like a harsh contour to give my face a little bit more shape. And I'm gonna just do it in a line like this first, and then I'm gonna blend it in circles like this to blend it all together. And I'm gonna do the same thing up on the top of my forehead as I did before. And then same thing on my jawline, I'm just gonna kind of put the residual there. And then I also rub a little bit like on either side of my nose and on my chin, but I don't add more to my brush for that. I just kind of brush whatever residual's there so my face looks bronzed all over and not just like I intentionally tried to make my face look skinnier and smaller, you know? That's what I'm doing, but I don't want anybody to know that. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of blush, and this is the NARS blush, and the color is called Orgasm. I'm really sorry, but that's just what it's called, and it's my favorite blush on the planet. And I'm just gonna take, this is not a blush brush either, but I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna just kind of dab on the apples of my cheeks so I don't look as white, you know? So pale, so pale. Okay, and then what I do on like filming days and days where I need my makeup to look like really put together is I'm gonna take a little bit more of the translucent powder and I'm gonna bake my contour, which just basically cleans up the line underneath where you just blended that all out. So if there was any like excess that came down here, it kind of clears it up. So I just put a little bit on and I'm just gonna make a little bit of like a line here. And I'm gonna leave it there while I do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll brush it off at the very end. So back to looking like a psychopath for a hot second. And then this is like a random little step that I do every day that, because I just feel like I have really squinty small eyes. So I take a white eyeliner pencil. This is just a NYX one from Ulta. And I'm gonna line my waterline with white because it's gonna make my eyes look a little bit bigger and a little bit more open all day. And on really long work days, it makes me look more awake, which is all a lie, but that's how it looks. Okay, and my next step, and almost final step, is that I'm going to highlight. And this is my favorite part because it makes my face look like glowy and beautiful. And I have two options that I use for highlighter. And one of them is the Anastasia Glow Kit, which is just 4 different highlights like this. So I'll use this, or, which I stole from my sister because I ran out of mine. Sorry, Abby. And then I will also use the James Charles palette. And I get made fun of because I don't use eyeshadows in this like pretty much ever. There's 2 colors that are literally gone because I've used them as a highlight for like the whole year. And you're gonna see them when I open it. Oh, which ones does Hope like? It's a secret, I don't know. But I use like this gold, I don't even know the names of them, but I use this gold color here, and this one that's almost gone was like a really light gold color, and I use those 2 to highlight. So I'm just gonna use this gold one to highlight today, but the Glow Kit is like a good alternative if you don't want all of these colors. But I just really like James, so I bought it anyway. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this little brush that's meant for eyeshadow, but I use it to highlight. I'm gonna take a tiny little bit of that gold color, and I'm gonna highlight the center of my nose, and I'm just doing like up and down on the center of my nose for this part. And then I also highlight the tip of my nose, so I kind of leave a little gap and do both. I'll highlight like the Cupid's bow of my upper lip too, like this. And I kind of do side to side and up and down. And then I'm gonna switch brushes, get more of an actual eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna highlight my brow bone right here and then my inner corner. And I usually like to do 2 colors. I usually do like a gold color, and then I'll do a little bit of a lighter highlight because I'm so pale over top of that gold color to really make my highlight pop. So I might go back with the Glow Kit in a second and do a lighter shade over what I just did. Gotta make it pop for a filming day, you know? And then I'm gonna highlight my cheekbone last. And this is another one of the Jaclyn Hill brushes, and I'm gonna actually just use the Anastasia Glow Kit for this. I'm gonna use this like golden shade, and then I'm gonna do the lighter white shade on top, because it just makes my highlight really pop. So just taking this, and I'm kind of turning to the side, and the very top of my cheekbone, I'm highlighting all the way across. Ooh, look at that glow. I hope you can see it on camera as well as I can see it in real life at the moment. Okay, and then I'm doing a little layer of the white over top, a little bit more like centered instead of all over. And then I'm gonna take that, whatever residuals left, and I'm gonna do up top of my forehead right here on either side. I'm gonna brush some on my chin, brush it across my nose. Ideally, I just want my whole face to look like a glowy little sunshine, or a glazed donut is what I call it. I taught that to my little brother, so one day I came downstairs and he was like, "You look like a glazed donut today." And it was the best day of my life. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wipe off my bake, or the powder underneath my contour. Just brush it off with that same brush that I wiped my powder off before. And then I'm gonna set my face one more time because again, I like to do it all the times during my makeup process. Okay, so now that I'm done with like my whole face, the only thing I have left to do is curl my lashes and put on mascara and then a lip. But if I want it to be a little bit more dramatic, I will either add a black eyeliner or fake lashes for days where I like need it to be more dramatic. I probably won't do it today, but that's what I would do if I wanted it to be a bit more dramatic, but I don't do anything else to my eyes. This is like literally all that I do besides mascara and lip, and it literally in real life takes me like 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go off camera, I'm gonna do my eyelashes really quick, and I'll be right back. The mascara I use is the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I also love the Better Than Sex mascara, but this one is like my current favorite because it makes my lashes look really long without making them look clumpy. And I pretty much don't have lashes unless they have mascara on them because they're blonde. So mascara is like one of my staples, and I really love this one. Okay, ta-da! I have mascara on. And then my favorite part of the entire makeup process is lipstick, because I was raised in the South. I'm a Southern girl at heart, and you like don't leave the house without lipstick. That is just not a thing that you're allowed to do. So these are half of the lipsticks that I had in one pocket of my purse, like literally, and they all look the same because like they kind of are, but I just have a lipstick problem. So that's loud. I'm gonna use my favorite one today, which is the Kylie Jenner Commando, and it's a velvet liquid lipstick. It's not her matte liquid lipstick, and I love doing this with a little bit of Rihanna Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb over top, so this is like my favorite pair. I'll link a couple of my other favorites in the description down below, but this one is like my go-to, and I look like I don't have lips right now pretty much, so I'm gonna put this on with a little bit of gloss over, and then we'll be all done. Okay, so this is the Kylie Commando color. It's just a very like neutral, not like a nude color, but it's almost an orangey shade, and I just feel like it looks good with like really pale skin tones. And I'm gonna take just a tiny bit of this gloss bomb and put it on the center of my lips. And I'm pretty much done. The last thing I'm gonna do, which is optional, and I pretty much only do this in like the summer or springtime when it's warmer outside, is I have this new Anastasia Dewy Set Skin Mist, and it's kind of another setting spray. So I'm gonna do a final layer of this, and it sets your makeup, but it also makes your skin look really dewy and glowy instead of looking like matte and dry. And I do tend to have like drier skin, and so I'm gonna set with this, and it will be good to go. Okay, so that is my makeup tutorial that I do every single day. I very, very rarely differ from the tutorial that I just showed you guys. But I hope you enjoyed it. All of the products will be linked down below, and next week I'm going to share with you guys 10 of my favorite beauty products right now related to both hair and makeup and all the things. But if you are looking for something educational to watch, since this month is a little bit more personal, I would love for you guys to tune into my hour-long free class, 5 Ways to Book More Seniors. And you can find the link to that down below too, and hopefully you guys enjoy that free class until we're back to educational videos. But I will see you guys next week.